Your cameras out. Don't put your cameras away. Just make sure they're secured to your wrist or around your neck or something. Hang on to your cameras. See our brand new facades. Have you been here before? We didn't just rebuild the buildings that were here already. We built everything bigger and better, more colorful. There's some buildings out here that weren't here previously. Like the Park Terrace Hotel. Who wouldn't want to stay here? It looks beautiful. The Park Terrace Hotel.
Can I go on it or no?
We didn't have a Macy's before. We have a Macy's now. Now, I'll talk about this in a few moments. As we drive by this Macy's, you'll notice it looks terrific on the outside if you look through the glass windows. It don't look so hot on the inside. Now, before I go into more details about the buildings we're looking at, let me tell you some of the things that have filmed down here over the years. Not necessarily in front of these buildings. Again, remember, all the buildings you're looking at are basically brand new. But on this street that we're now driving through, we've done TV shows like 24, Ghost Whisperer with Jennifer Love Hewitt. Actually films off to the right. That's Grandview. If you look off to the right, and that's where we shot the Back to the Future movies. And that is Grandview nowadays, and there's a big gust of wind going through here. As a matter of fact, the funny thing about Ghost Whisperer, all of the buildings around the Ghost Whisperer set burned down, but the Ghost Whisperer sets themselves withstood the fire, so maybe the spirits were looking after Jennifer Love Hewitt, I'm not too sure. Movies like Transformers, Spider-Man 2 were filmed down here. Changeling with Angelina Jolie, directed by Clint Eastwood.
Transformers.
The Sting, the Back to the Future films of Michael J. Fox. Elvis Presley filmed his very last movie. We're now driving down the street that Elvis Presley performed and acted on back in 1969 for his very last motion picture. Countless TV shows, Columbo and Murder, She Wrote, and I could talk forever about all the shows that have been shot out here. Building 218, we didn't have a modern skyscraper before. We've got one now. Also, you can see a little bit of construction work going on out there. The street's about 99% all put back together. We're putting some finishing touches and building a few last facades out there. Now, let me tell you about the buildings you're looking at. The reason they look great on the outside and they look awful on the inside is because facades on back lots, like the one we're now driving through, were never meant to be filmed inside of. Only do our outdoor filming out here. All of the indoor filming inside these buildings would be done back on our front lot, inside of our sound stations. So these buildings look great, they look terrific on the outside, but again, never ever film inside any of these buildings. And all that brickwork, all that stonework that you're now looking at is foam rubber, wood, fiberglass, and plastic. And you might notice that the buildings, if you look up there, the buildings don't extend up very high. They're only about 3 or 4 stories tall. And that is because if we need to make them look any taller, we just use computer graphics and we can make all the buildings out here look miles high. In fact, let me show you something really quickly while we have a couple of seconds.